Now let's talk about gender. In Spanish, gender is género. So you might hear that term in this class, género. Gender is very important in Spanish. So in English, we actually have 3 different genders in our grammar. So in English, we have masculine, feminine, and neuter. So masculine words are things like man or boy, where everyone knows that that's a masculine word. Same with feminine, woman, girl. However, the majority of our words in English are neuter words. They do not have a gender. So table, chair, hospital, clinic, bed, desk, sickness, whatever it may be, the majority of our words are neuter. So it's not a big concept when you're learning English as a kid. However, in Spanish, this is a huge concept that a lot of people struggle with when they're learning a new language that has a lot of gender issues. It's just something that you really just have to memorize. And again, I know that I say this all the time, but practicing is really the key to getting familiar with everything. So there's going to be a lot of vocab lists where, you'll have to memorize whether or not the nouns are, or the words are masculine or feminine. So here we have some basic examples of some masculine words in Spanish. Hombre, hospital, vaso, amigo. And some feminine words. Mujer, casa, ciudad, amiga. We do have a lot of rules to memorize for this, so some guidelines for you. As most of you, I would assume, would know, for the majority of the words ending in O, you know that they will be masculine. For the majority of words that you hear ending in an A, you know they will be feminine. So everyone, hopefully taking this course, knows what an amigo is. It's a friend, right? Amigo with an O means a male friend. Amiga ending in an A will always mean a female friend. So it's just a really simple example so that when you're struggling with trying to figure out what words are masculine, what words are feminine, if you see that it ends in an O or an A, for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, you should be safe saying that O words are masculine and A words are feminine. However, there are always some exceptions, so just keep that in mind. So here are some more examples of words ending in O or A. So on the left we have the masculino words, and that is amigo, sobrino, libro, antibiótico, trabajo, carro. Some examples of feminine words are amiga, sobrina, casa, medicina, clínica, droga. Okay, here's your first exception to that rule that you just learned. Words that are ending in MA, so you have to look out for that M, are masculine. So even though the final letter in the word is an A, if a word's ending in MA, they're going to be masculine for the most part. And you are going to see a lot of this working in healthcare because a lot of healthcare vocab is going to end in an MA. So here we have on the right a list of some examples. Diafragma, síntoma, sistema, programa, problema, emphysema. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of those are words that you might come across working in a healthcare setting. All right, idiomas, languages, are always going to be masculine. So we have español, inglés, francés, italiano, japonés. Some examples of some languages. If you please note, in English, when we are talking about other languages or even talking about English, we always capitalize the first letter in a language. In Spanish, for the most part, we do not capitalize the first letter in a language unless it's the first word of a sentence. So, for the most part, if you see español with a little e, it's not an error. It's meant to be that way. It's just a different way of doing things in Spanish. Okay, all words ending in TAD or DAD are going to be feminine. So, libertad, universidad, ciudad are 3 examples you have here. So again, this is just something you're going to have to memorize so that you know that these words are feminine. Another feminine rule is most words ending in CION, the accent on the O, or SION, with the accent on the O, are going to be feminine. Recepción, computación, construcción, sesión. Okay, so those will be feminine. Again, unfortunately, in every language, there are going to be exceptions to every rule. But if you stick to this and you keep practicing and go back to the exceptions that we talked about, you will be fine. It's just going to be a lot of practicing and getting familiar with new vocab. In Spanish, gender really is very important to learn, and in our next lesson we will learn more about articles that go in front of the words, which will help explain gender further, but this is just an introduction to the topic of gender. So thanks so much for your time. Gracias, and I look forward to teaching you more soon.